So yeah, what is up guys, Ghost here, and today I got you guys a video going over the worst guns in the Modern Warfare series. So we're going to be going over the worst of the worst in each of the Modern Warfare games, from Call of Duty 4 to MW2, MW3, and finally Modern Warfare 2019 recently. But of course we can't do the new Modern Warfare just yet, it's not out yet, but obviously every COD game has, bad weapons, so I'm curious to see what the bad weapons will be in the new Modern Warfare game. Nonetheless though, what do you think is the worst gun in each of the Modern Warfare games? You can make your list down below in the comment section, or just, what do you think is the worst gun overall in the entirety of the Modern Warfare series. And I'm gonna be reading your guys' comments in my community tab, where I actually did a post asking you guys what are some of the worst Modern Warfare weapons. So yeah, make sure you guys do like up and you interact with my community post, because I want to feature your guys' comments and interactions sometimes in videos like this here. But for sure, definitely like up and subscribe to the video if for more classic COD content, and let's get right into it. Starting the video off with Call of Duty 4, we have the M60 light machine gun. So first off, this weapon just has terrible iron sights. The iron sights are disgusting, and yeah, you could put a red dot on it to counteract that. However, that will not fix the garbage, atrocious recoil that this weapon does have. It's just not worth to use with the amount of recoil that this gun does have. You can simply use a lot of weapons in this game that two-shot to have the same damage and it has less recoil. So it's a useless, bad, terrible gun. Same with the MP44. So this comment says, in my opinion, the worst weapon in the Modern Warfare series is the MP44 from COD 4. Think of the AK-47, but worse. The MP44 had a low fire rate, high recoil, and you can't even put any attachments on it. Next one says the MP44 from COD 4 has no reason to exist. It's just an AK with a slower fire rate, higher recoil, worse iron sights, and no options for attachments pulling this weapon. I could not agree more with those statements right there. This gun doesn't have a reason to exist in this game, statistically wise. It just makes no sense. You're gonna be outgunned if you use this gun against any other weapons. And then next up we have the Scorpion. This comment says the MWR Scorpion in core had a little recoil but way too little ammo and pitiful range to do much of anything. This gun frustrated me so much. Yeah, this weapon definitely does frustrate me a lot because it just doesn't hold up being a great SMG when you have the MP5 and the AK-74U and even the P90. It's just an underwhelming, useless SMG in my opinion, just like the Uzi in this game. This Uzi just has way too much recoil, and you can do way better with the other SMGs, even the freaking Scorpion, even though it's a terrible weapon. So yeah, going to Modern Warfare 2, honestly, this game didn't even have that many bad weapons because everything was pretty solid, not gonna lie. But the one that people go to the most being the worst gun is the F2000. So the F2000 from MW2, low damage, high recoil. It's pretty much useless since literally every other assault rifle out damages it and has less recoil. Pretty much, yeah, like literally the same statement as the MP44 from COD 4. Yeah. And then we do have the M9 with silencer. So I feel like it's not the fact that it's just bad, it's just that it's useless because the suppressor on the M9 has a little bug to it where no matter if you have a suppressor on, you're gonna still show up on the minimap even if you have a suppressor. Yeah, it's just a little quirk bug that never was fixed. But I mean, I could outgun people with this at 2 shots still. It's just not ideal to use though with suppressor. Next up we got MW3, and yeah, there was only really 2 weapons that stood out to me being underwhelming in MW2. Like honestly, that game just was great with the weaponry, but MW3 on the other hand did have some pretty terrible weapons, but some very good ones too. So the PM9 in MW3 should have been the AK-74U instead of that gun. PM9 from MW3, insane recoil for minimal damage. Yeah, this should have been replaced with the 74U. The AK-74U was already in the game, but in the campaign, I don't know why they had to have this pointless gun. Like, it can be fun to use hip firing and spraying and praying, but do that with a PP90M1, man. So next up we have the AA-12 here. So AA-12 from MW3, low ammo count. You must always use extended mags and scavenger if you want to have a long streak. The range is the worst among the other shotguns, and the damage is so low that I think the shotgun don't shoot shotgun shells, instead of shoots marshmallows. And some person comments the reply is saying it was a great gun when you got extended mags and range deficiency. So I agree with the first comment. I definitely feel like this gun just did not perform well with the range and the damage. Even though making it look kind of useful and good, nah, you really have to try with this AA-12 and play it really right and cut the range off, and just it's a lot of freaking effort, man. Next up we do have the deagle. So first comment says the Desert Eagle from MW3 not very powerful compared to its COD 4 and MW2 counterparts, is significantly more recoil and view kick. Next one says the deagle in MW3 was up to a 4-shot kill and had insane recoil. Then some replies said, I remember it was a 1 to 2 shot kill in COD 4. LOL, what? How do you get a 4-shot kill? Where were you shooting at the enemies? At the feet? It was a 3-shot kill. So yeah, I agree with it having insane recoil, more recoil than usual, and just the other pistols and machine pistols were just pretty much way better than the deagle. It was pointless, you know. I mean, it was only really in the game because it's a Modern Warfare staple. You know, every Modern Warfare has a freaking deagle, you know, but this one just was underwhelming. And then the last one we have here is the M320 grenade launcher. This grenade launcher just sucks, and that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a very good thing, but it just gets a lot of freaking hit markers, and most of the time you get that first hit marker on the enemy and you try to lead up with your second shot, you just cannot kill them at all because they'll kill you by the time you're reloading and done with this. So it's just a very disappointing weapon, and I'm glad it is, but it still sucks, and it's one of the worst weapons in Modern Warfare 3. So lastly, with a Modern Warfare 2019, we have the RAL LMG. This LMG is just so clunky and difficult to use, to the point where every time I try to use it, I just have a terrible time. I just get so mad because if I would have, you know, used any other gun aside from this gun, I would have gotten that guy. You know, it's just that always comes up in my head every time I lose a gunfight. If I would have had this gun, I would have won. If I would have done this with this gun, I would have won. But it's just so pointless to me and terrible. And then we have the MG34. Once more again, you know, same story, man. It's just, you have to put so much effort with this light machine gun to use, and it's just very slow, and so many guns in this game just outgun a lot of the LMGs. And again, another light machine gun, the M91. Same story here. You're gonna get just destroyed by the CX-9, the M4, the MP5, P90, every other weapon that's faster than any of the LMGs, you know, especially these three that I did name. So in my opinion, those are the worst weapons in Modern Warfare 2019. So yeah, for sure guys, subscribe and like if you made it to the end of the video here. That'll mean a lot. And follow my Instagram and Twitter and my social medias in the description as well. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.
Too paranoid. Sorry if I get annoyed. If you get ignored. Sorry